That's Brett Erlich. As you do know, I am Rick Strom. Welcome back into Old School Sports. Dwight Howard. He was with the Lakers once upon a time. Wasn't a good player. He was pretty good with the Magic. Actually took them to a finals. Beat LeBron James in the conference finals in order to get there. Still, seems like his career has gone downhill. However, NBA Reddit, which is pretty much my homepage at this point.
Reddit's killing it.
Oh
Get
my
the
God.
app. Get the app.
Well, get our app.
Get the app so that we can tell you what to do on Reddit.
I always wanted to have a catchphrase, which if I launched an app was back that app up.
Back that app. Oh, Ricky. Ricky, did you invent that?
What?
Did Ricky invent that all by his lonesome?
So NBA Reddit had something really interesting that they put out. Dwight Howard tied Wilt Chamberlain and Moses Malone, I should have warned everybody, as the only players to average double-doubles in each of their first 14 seasons. The important caveat, as you're going to see on the next slide, is that Charles Barkley leads it with 15. He did not average a double-double his first year.
Quitter.
Super.
Nerd.
Nerd!
What a geek.
So Charles Barkley's on the list, but again, the stat was the first 14 years. This is an amazing list. This is filled with Hall of Famers. Bill Russell, the most accomplished center of all time. Hakeem Olajuwon added the H later on. I mean, Kareem, Shaq,
Bill Russell
Duncan.
added all the L's later on. All the L's. But his name was By-Russ. By-Rus.
Oh, and then he lost 2 in the finals, and that's when he added the L's.
He got those L's. He got 4 L's.
Understood.
Good morning.
Dwight Howard. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
He's so good at basketball.
He's not so good.
He is good.
He's good at one thing.
2 things, actually.
What's the
double
second?
doubles. Scoring and rebound.
He's good at getting the bare minimum of double-digit points. Who can't shoot free throws? So what
Shaq
he does
couldn't
good
shoot free
defensively
throws.
is what he's good at offensively, which is like basketball, baskets. That's it.
Is it ballots? Now I'm second guessing everything about sports. Is it multiple ballots for the Hall of Fame? You can get in multiple ballots? Is that how it works? Is it like other sports?
What are you talking about?
Like if he were to be a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
would you vote? Would it be, how many ballots would it take? Is that a thing?
You need 70% of the vote, right?
I know, but like how many times do you think it would take for Dwight Howard? If he's
Oh,
like,
it's
don't know.
impossible
I
to say.
forget
We
how
don't
it
know
works.
who he's going to be up against.
Right.
Like, here's the thing.
Liz, who did we just see go in? Grant Hill,
Steve Nash.
and Jason Kidd.
And Steve Nash.
And Steve Nash.
It's been 5 years already. So
yeah, I could see that.
It depends.
I could see Dwight Howard being in that list.
it depends who he goes up against. It depends who's in this class. It depends who's in the class after that. For all we know, he's going to have to be like
tall, wide shouldered.
For all we know, he's going to be like an Andre Dawson who like gets in eventually, but he's going to have to wait.
I think he's way ahead of that.
I don't think so. I think he hurt his image way too much, which is what the writers take into account when they're voting anybody in any respective sport.
Right. It's difficult with Dwight Howard because it is a frustration thing. For me, I'm frustrated that he thinks he's hilarious, but he's really just being cute.
He's just not funny.
He's gorgeous. We all know he's gorgeous.
Beautiful
we love
man.
to look into his eyes and everything.
Yep.
His shoulders are broad and strong, like I don't know, some kind of archetype
bull.
of a strong like a man,
Like an ox.
like a man,
Like a man ox.
like a
Like
mox.
if Fabio had sex with an ox.
Yes, that's him. He
Yes.
just has these broad shoulders that's why he's so good at rebounding because he's got all that strength. But anyways, it's frustrating with Dwight because it doesn't feel like he really is putting his whole self into it.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I'm not going to name names, but I am going to tell you. There was someone that someone else knows who is in this crew right now, a former professional athlete, accomplished professional athlete, who knows for a fact that Dwight Howard never really wanted it.
I know.
He's just a big guy.
That's everyone.
Who happened to be good at, no, some guys really freaking
No,
want
everyone
it.
knows that about Dwight Howard. But that doesn't mean
I'm
he isn't
confirming.
Hall of Fame level. Yeah, okay, so you know for a fact. He
I know
just
for
wasn't
a
really
fact. It's like,
there's a lot of guys
I don't know,
that are
man.
like
I'm
that.
7 feet. I got these ridiculous shoulders.
I mean, he
I'm a
worked on his
good-looking.
shoulders.
I'm a good-looking guy. Oh, and by the way, I could average a double-double for 14 straight years.
But that's the brilliant tragedy of Dwight Howard.
That's a great point.
Is he's just like it's like a afterthought to him that he can average a double-double. It's so frustrating to think of what he would do if he applied himself.
Even
But that shouldn't take away from being the kind of, a lot of people can't shoot free throws.
No.
Shouldn't take away from the idea that this guy has accomplished something crazy that's on the list with all those other people. Sometimes that's all it takes to get into the Hall of Fame. But that's not an all it takes type achievement.
Here's what Dwight Howard did in his career. The Basketball Reference. I mean, these are ridiculous numbers.
Right.
See, for his career, I'm amazed that it's at 17, but it's because of the earlier part of his career. Like even this year, he's averaging 17. It's the quietest 17 I've ever heard in my life.
Talk about consistency. He went up by 1 in age every year. Skip, you freaking liked it. You know you liked it, Skip. You weren't expecting it. You're laughing right now, dude. He's laughing right freaking now. That's it. All right, let's go back to this table of the tape. Let's go to that graphic again so we can.
We are knees deep in a conversation. And we are really feeling it.
I'm just kidding. All right, here goes. Look at what he was doing. He has free throw attempts. His free throw percentage actually is crappy forever.
Bro, he shot 49% 1 year. 3 years. 3 years he was at 49.
49.
Was he ever in the 60s?
He was in the 60s almost.
His rookie year, he was in the 60s?
That's what's
How are you good at shooting free throws your rookie year and then just fall off? That is so pathetic.
It's gotta be a mental thing. And that's the thing about him is he isn't as mentally tough as other athletes. He doesn't have that to him. And it's that lack of mental toughness that makes us skeptical, but he still should be in.
Generalities are fun in sports like mental toughness.
That's a true thing borne out by specific statistics.
YouTube.com/TUI.